Thank you, Mr. Van Dyke. Okay, Mike and Faye.
I'll put a plug.
Mike, you're up.
Well, we're just trying to figure out where that main sewer up there is. And the way it looks on that board, it goes between the one by the store there and goes across the road by our between Faye's Cafe, an hour restaurant. And Jack says it isn't, it's west, but I can't figure out when that map was made how it can be 120 feet off.
Well, I'll tell you what I found out, which I did call you back. Shodden put that in as a clean out years ago.
On
I'm
the
going
north
to tell
side.
you what I found out,
Okay.
may I?
Yes, please.
Okay, when the motel was built in the 40s, Don Shodden was about 11, because he's got a picture of he and the two Johnson twins. And they did just 8 rooms first. They dug the sewer, evidently to a line that was there. If you went up to Jacob's Feed, that line had to go by on the highway. There was no manhole. Okay, so the connection was made. They put on room 9 in the 50s, sometime in the 50s, and that room, as we found out, goes up to the manhole that's up by Jacob's Feed. Okay, so there was a line there which traveled clear on up to Jacob's Feed. Shoddens themselves did not put it under the road. The city would have had to have done that, and according to that, it shows that the sewer line, I don't care where your manholes are, the sewer line was running, and it ran, which is closer up by your map, in front of Shoddens, and in front of the motel, because this is before Jackson Street. So here's your sewer running along. I don't care where you put that manhole. If you put it there, where you put it, Leroy Lights is the one that dug it in front of Shoddens to clean that out, because it evidently was creating a problem. That manhole. But the sewer line was there. And that sewer line went across, plus the sewer line from Jacobs.
See, here's the street. Now, everybody's saying it's way over here, now how can it be 120 feet off?
But I would just soon have that manhole down at Jacobs when I found this out, because the manhole was dug by Leroy Lights. I talked to him, and he did dig it. And he dug that manhole there so that the cafe and that could have its own special little clean out on that side.
Is that between the cafe and what was Chadden's station at that time?
No, that's between the cafe and the motel.
Oh.
The one for the Shodden gas station, that was a long time ago, and that went across the street closer by June Shodden.
Oh, okay.
So that's a whole different. So that, and that's another proof that that line was running clear across there going on up to Jacob's Feed, because it was going in front of the gas station, and they went across the street there, and it had to be your city people, because Shoddens, they said they wouldn't have had the equipment to go under the highway.
See, we're not disputing the cleanout. We're disputing the line going to the cleanout.
And that's the one that's under the road.
And that's collapsed down 2 inches now.
And it all boils down, who's gonna pay for it?
That's what it boils down to.
Or to keep
And
businesses going.
if your line really was there, that would be your city, which then it jogged down in front of us, and then it jogged back to go by Jacobson's. If you want that to be wrong on that map, that's really great, because That's even more proof that it's the city's, in my head.
Well, yeah, me too. I mean, it's a no-brainer. It shows where it goes. It goes that manhole over on our side.
When's the thing gonna be open anyway?
Gotta talk to
Good
her.
question.
We just love to live off the insurance line right now.
So we're in no hurry to fix it as long as it's not open.
Hopefully a couple of weeks. But I have a business that's open. Yeah, she needs it.
Jack,
Basically, this manhole is over by Jacobson Street. There's a manhole here, it goes all the way up to the Continental Building. Look at that manhole, it goes that way, I don't know how many feet out of the manhole, and it aims straight south here.
But on your
But that-
map, that of course is wrong, because
Yeah.
Jackson Street is right
I
here.
know it is.
The jacket, that's
A
120
generic
feet.
map.
No, if this is off 120 feet, then how can you rely on Amy's map?
It's just generic.
50 feet, I understand
Yeah.
that, but I measure it. So that manhole where you're telling me is 120 feet.
Mike, let him finish where he's going with it.
Yeah, well, I understand, because he already told me where he's going.
I stood up there and argued, and I've been going on for 25 years. I said, if they really want to know, let's put a camera in here, find out exactly where this line goes, and then we got proof. But this is a 4-inch line. George Schmidt dug it up 10, 15 years ago.
The line was there. He was just digging on my property, he wasn't digging on the road.
It was up digging up to the road, on the other side of the manhole. George did that. Where that asphalt on the other side of the manhole, George did that.
On my property.
It's on the north side of the road, on the south side of the manhole.
as part of the easement,
It's in the, yeah, the right away.
Where did you get your information that is not the city's? I mean, this was back in the 40s and
Any
50s, far
service
before
line-
you were born.
You know, any service line that we have it, it's the city responsibility is the main line. You know,
That is the main line. You got a
Shows
picture of it going. I don't care where your manhole is.
yeah, whatever, you can say whatever you want to do. Well, I'm saying what I'm gonna argue, that this is the manhole up at Jacobson's, I found it, you looked in it that day. This is, and it goes all the way up to the Continental Building.
Well,
I'm really glad about that, because then that line going up to it is the city's.
All the way from here, from Jacobson's.
but you
up
can't be
there.
120 feet off. Your
They
map.
can be.
Huh?
They make maps, but they don't go and take.
Write the
measurements.
jog before the highway then, sir, explain that one. If
This
you don't
one?
think it includes going to
It has it
Shaw's.
going underneath the road, it's on the north side of the road.
Yeah, right between our buildings.
All right, it shows this in the railroad right away. This is up next to Jacobson's building, outside the right away.
Can't be because your street's off then.
This is
You
off.
just, that map's on the street on the west side.
Jack is saying is this is not a meets and bound legal
No,
description
it's just
map.
a generic
So if
map.
Jack was around here and I got hired to go up there, and I looked at that map, you know where I'm gonna go? To the one we're talking about. I take you up there and show it to you, you're gonna say, gee, how can they be 120 feet off? You got a street, this is what you gotta look at. Here's
I'm
the
not an
street.
engineer, so.
No, I mean, it's black and white. Right here, here's the street, here's the school. So if Jack says over here, then why isn't this line way over here? Right here is the business, the grocery store, the furniture store. Here's the school, here's the street. Go straight north, here's the motel. Then why is it showing it on the other side of the motel?
What difference does that map?
Maybe because that means that Lakeview would have to replace this line underneath the highway. That is the question here. Who
They want us to
dug
pay
that? Who dug that? Or was that just changed conveniently for someone?
And I do think the city did put that one under Jack, because Shadens and Souths didn't. All they built was, they had Leroy Lights do a new manhole. I'm tickled that you think it's further down by Jacobs, because that proves this is the city's.
But what's
That made me happier than anything I
Let's
heard.
televise and prove it and mark it out exactly.
But that can be changed after you put the manhole in. So you gotta go back to the 40s.
what's it cost to televise it?
I don't know, but it's, you know,
What
you have a foot of fall around your building to tie in your building. And you
Just
said
number
that ain't gonna
9,
work.
just
Huh?
number 9 that was, remember?
But you said it would go all the way around the building, you had a foot of fall.